always been.
All his jokes prior to his fight against Lamont Roach. After the fight, look how many were waiting.
No lie, I'm telling you, this version of Tank is gonna be dangerous, bruh. If you know about boxing, come on, it is Gervonta Davis, bro.
Gervonta Davis just went wild on Floyd Mayweather after discovering he trained Lamont Roach. Davis said Floyd always puts him in lose-lose situations. The results of Floyd's training are clear. Roach now moves with sharp footwork, throws crisp combinations, and defends with precision, proving he's focused and ready for war.
No. He almost hit you. Pass me that. Hold me. I know what y'all gonna do. I go that way for a reason. I wish you could record. I wish you could record.
From the earliest days of his career, Gervonta Davis has dealt with manipulation and favoritism from Floyd Mayweather. What initially appeared as mentorship gradually became control. Many close to the situation noted how Floyd often positioned Davis in ways that limited his independence. Instead of allowing Davis to build his own legacy, Mayweather's behavior suggested a desire to mold him into a version of himself, while still keeping him in his shadow.
Adrian had the weigh-in. So from his weigh-in, they meet us at the food spot. So from there, we go to the gym. So remind you, they already got this set up. Floyd already got it set up. He already posted on Instagram. It probably was like 100 people in there, and he turned the heat up. That's what Floyd do. He turned the heat up in the gym while you in there. So he turned the heat up. Boom. We spar, but while we sparring, Floyd is in the ring. Like every time I'm punching, Floyd like grab my hand, like yank it back, whereas though I can't even punch Devin. So it was times that like I catch Devin, boom, or I'm about to swing and Floyd like yank my hand back, or he'll push me to the ropes. Like he was actually like touching me while we were sparring. Like
why?
Like, he was, because it was like Devin was his guy, because Devin was training at his gym at the time. So, and he was training with his father. So, Devin was on. I mean, Floyd was on Devin's side.
Sounds
so
like
that's
a conspiracy to me.
Yeah, but later down the line, probably about like a couple months. No, this was recently. Not recently, but probably like 2 years ago. I asked Devin to like come to like spar me. And he was like, "No, I ain't no sparring partner." I had somebody hit him up that was close.
Davis revealed that when he sparred with Devin Haney, Mayweather repeatedly stepped in at crucial moments. Just when Davis started to land clean shots or take control, Mayweather would call a pause or intervene. It gave the impression that Haney was being favored. Davis felt as though he wasn't allowed to shine, even in private sessions meant for growth. This kind of interference left Davis feeling like he was being undermined by the very person meant to guide him.
Floyd outdoing him. He always been like that. You know what I mean? So I gotta focus on what I'm focused on. He already did what he had to do, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Me, if I did what I like what he did in the sport, I ain't gonna lie, I'd be the same way. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I don't fault him for like stand to himself and things like that. You know what I mean? But it's also a part of me type thing, like come back and help too. You know what I mean? So it's much love to the whole Mayweather promotion. You know what I mean? Ain't no bad blood type shit. And a lot of people think like when I be tweeting on Instagram, I be mad. I just be talking.
Over time, Davis began to see his connection with Mayweather as less of a partnership and more of a controlled setup. He realized that Mayweather often placed himself at the center of every decision, ensuring he always had leverage. Whether it was matchmaking or media handling, Floyd's approach seemed calculated to maintain control over Davis's career, rather than empower him. That realization fueled a growing sense of mistrust and distance between them.
First of all, Floyd don't never want to see no one like a fighter do better than them. How the say Terrence Crawford should fight? Benavidez. That don't make no fucking sense. He don't never want to see nobody be better than him. I'm telling you.
Who's next in line? This will be next in line.
Is there like
last question, guys. Gotta wrap up.
Is there like a love-hate for Floyd? Like,
yeah.
fighter?
Yeah, I love the fighter. Like, I ain't gonna lie, if he was like chill, like he'll be the smoothest, but he's not. You know what I mean? He's a great fighter. And my bad. Cause I don't want to say like he's just a scumbag, but it's like he's a great fighter, and sometimes he can be good, but it's like it's always I'm this.
Davis hasn't held back when addressing Mayweather's inability to celebrate others. He believes that Floyd's ego makes it impossible for him to support anyone else's achievements. According to Davis, this mindset played a big role in Floyd's hesitation to back a rematch with Roach. Instead of focusing on what was best for Davis, Floyd appeared more concerned about losing the spotlight to one of his protégés.
You know, so I don't want Tank to necessarily leave Mayweather. I think he's in this position because of everything that Mayweather and Leonard Ellerbe have done for him. So I do want him to do what he is saying. Take control of your career. Say that you want Shakur and actually fight Shakur. Say that you want Devin and actually fight Devin. You know, fight these guys. Don't keep making new names. Like, you gave Barrios a chance. You gave Isaac a chance. Like, you know, Gamboa, like, those aren't the fights that we want.
The split between Davis and Mayweather Promotions wasn't just a quiet exit. It was loud and messy. Public arguments, passive-aggressive comments, and disagreements over promotional control dominated headlines. Davis wanted more autonomy and transparency, while Mayweather seemed reluctant to give it. The separation made clear how deep the issues ran, and it confirmed for many fans that their relationship had become toxic well before it ended.
When Floyd left Bob Arum, it's good for them to do it and become their own boss. And then if another guy does it, it's not good for the sport. He's disloyal. And what's wrong with Tank saying he want to be his own boss? And honestly, I've been there. The relationship between them two is very toxic. It's a toxic relationship. It's up and down and up and down. And I'm not going to elaborate to everything that I know, but it's a very toxic relationship. And that's why when I tweet stuff, I don't tweet often, but when I tweet, I may fire off 50 tweets in the day. And that's why when I tweeted certain things about the relationship, Tank retweeted it because he knows. Like, I'm not just going to say what it is. It's a very toxic relationship. It's back and forth. And I think it will serve him best to go and be his own boss.
There's been tension for a long time. From disagreements about opponents to conflicting training philosophies, Davis and Mayweather have clashed behind the scenes. Mayweather often second-guessed Davis's decisions, including the rematch with Roach. However, Davis's intense preparation for the bout has surprised even his harshest critics, including Floyd. Davis understands the stakes this time. Another loss would damage his image far more than the first one.
So the Tank Davis versus Lamont Roach rematch is being targeted for June 21st in Las Vegas. Now, it's good that they're running it back without wasting any time because Roach absolutely deserves a rematch. I mean, I thought he outboxed Tank the last time around. He came up a division as a gigantic 10-1 underdog, and he was the one on the front foot, landing his jab, the body shots, the combinations, throwing a lot more volume. I had it 7-5 Roach, and the no knockdown in round 9 was the reason it was a draw. If that knockdown was scored, that would have been a decision for Roach. But with all that being said, I do like Tank a lot more in the rematch. I thought he fought way too much on the back foot in the first fight, especially the first few rounds. He would land 1 or 2 punches per round. But as he started becoming the aggressor in the later rounds, he kept landing a lot more left hands and body shots. So Tank just needs to make this a dogfight, get into more exchanges, and that's where he'll land a lot more punches on Roach. When he's sitting on the back foot waiting for a counter, that's where Roach is comfortable and winning most of the rounds. So if Tank can fight the same way he did against Ryan Garcia, rounds 3 to 7, against Mario Barrios in the later rounds, or Frank Martin rounds 4 to 8, if he's the one on the front foot, then I do think he'll stop Roach in the rematch.
The buzz surrounding the upcoming rematch has reached a fever pitch. Fans and analysts alike are eager to see how both fighters approach the second bout. The first fight left too many questions unanswered. Now, with Las Vegas likely hosting the event, there's a strong sense that this clash will settle the rivalry once and for all and bring clarity to both fighters' standing in the sport.
You got any grease in your hair tonight, Tank? That is it. Lamont, please say that in the second fight. Any questions? You got any grease in your hair tonight, Tank? You got any grease in your hair tonight, Tank? Hey, bruh, be on that. Because here's the thing. He never hurt Roach. Roach just waited. And Roach was squared up and turned sideways. And I'm like, oh my God. I didn't think he had that. He was like, I'm like, oh my. And then he just sitting there like, you can't I know what you're going to do because I've trained with you since we were kids. Tarver beat Roy, but he knew Roy since amateurs. Roy said he never liked fighting sparring partners because they know you so well. I should have listened to Roy.
In their first meeting, Roach shocked many by pushing Davis to his limits. It wasn't just a close fight, it was revealing. Roach exposed gaps in Davis's defense and made people question whether Davis was still evolving or beginning to decline. Now, the rematch is more than a contest. It's a proving ground. Davis needs to dominate to restore faith, while Roach has a chance to rise to elite status.
Shout out to my man Lamont.
All right, so you sparred Lamont Roach in preparation for his bout with Gervonta Davis.
Absolutely.
First, what did you think of the fight?
What did I think of the fight? It's a little different for me because it's definitely a point of bias there.
Wait, let me put out a disclaimer. He's from Baltimore.
Definitely, I mean, East Baltimore all day. But I'm looking at it from a point of bias because his dad, you know, Ben Johnson Sr. and all them guys that was down there, the coaches Tim and everything like that, they all good people. So I got to know them on a more personal level. And then I get to see like how hard a world champion works. And not only that, to see how he treated his people. So I was going for him just off of personality alone, but everything else, he made me believe in Kent for real. Because me and him like have similar personalities. Know what I mean, as far as the ring, you know what I mean? So everything we was ready for, like the talking shit and everything like that, because that was coming from me, you know what I'm saying? Me and Lamont, so everything was just everything for real. I think he should have won too, you know what I'm saying? But actually when I was there, I thought they actually was gonna like rob him, you know what I mean? But you can't, you know what I mean? You can't deceive the people that's there for what they saying for real.
So you felt like he should have got the nod in the decision.
Especially with all the other controversy too. It should have been overturned, but we know how boxing works, but I mean, we running it back for a reason, you know what I'm saying?
Did that teach you a lot?
Davis's team hasn't ignored the challenge Roach brings. His trainer has spoken openly about the respect they have for Roach's ring IQ and resilience. However, the confidence remains firm that Davis only needs slight tweaks to deliver a more convincing performance. They believe that the first fight was too close due to lapses in execution, not because of a skill gap. Now they aim to make the rematch decisive.
Surprised by Roach and Tank. What do you think the biggest surprise was in the fight?
It wasn't a surprise because we know Roach. It wasn't a surprise. Mm-hmm. Roach can fight. A lot of people think because a person is not popular, that they don't exist. It's fighters out there that can rumble. They just got to get the opportunity. You know?
What's the difference makers coming into this fight?
The first fight, I thought, everybody thought Jalil won. We just got to turn, hit the gears a little harder. We ain't really got to change too much. Just got to put the icing on the cake, Put the icing on the cake this time, that's all. He did enough to win the last fight, but we was in somebody else's territory,
This time around being in Florida, do you feel like it's a mutual zone?
Yeah. It's more of an even playing field in Florida.
Okay. Do you feel like he needs a stoppage to win the fight due to what happened the first time?
Not necessarily a stoppage. A stoppage is good, but not necessarily. You just got to put.
According to Teofimo Lopez, Davis experienced a kind of professional loneliness after the fight. Many in the boxing world distanced themselves from him, especially as criticism mounted. People who once praised Davis were now questioning his abilities. That shift in perception hit hard, showing just how quickly the boxing community can turn on its own when results don't match expectations.
I know a lot of people, look what they did with Gervonta too. I want everybody, all these young fighters that are listening to this, and you could clip this. It's a short part right here.
I got you.
To Ryan could clip this right here. To all you young fighters, look at the amount of love they were giving and sharing to Gervonta Tank Davis prior to the fight. Look at what all the reporters were doing prior to the fight. Look how they were all laughing at all his jokes prior to his fight against Lamont Roach. After the fight, look how many were waiting to down this man. Down him. See, I'm going to talk my smack with Tank, but that's because I want to fight him. That's me. I can say that. But I just want all you young fighters to really look about it. They don't care about us.
Yeah.
They won't ever care about us. When you're winning, they're going to be there. But they're waiting for any moment to slip up. Just a man, even a draw. Look how much hate he got out of it.
Yeah, not to get deep, but
You know, it's a part of our psychology. We have to learn how to care about other people. You know what I mean?
During the time of the first fight, Davis was mentally and emotionally drained. He admitted that his focus wasn't sharp and his physical health was also suffering. Davis even mentioned considering therapy and stepping away from the sport. Fighting under those conditions added pressure that wasn't visible to the public. The upcoming rematch offers him a chance to fight as his true self, with a clear mind and renewed spirit.
He wants to do therapy. He wants to do real estate. They want to say he wasn't all in because him and Roach are friends, and he's going to be focused for the second fight. A lot of excuses. They want to say it's because of the braids, the oil getting in his eye. Whatever. This is what really happened. And I just now came to this conclusion because I've been making some other videos for Patreon, but Lamont Roach posted a video recently on...
Roach approached the first fight with a precise game plan. He exploited Davis's slow reactions and limited endurance in the later rounds. These vulnerabilities weren't just accidental, they were tactical targets. Roach's success in that bout exposed real concerns about Davis's durability and stamina. Now the rematch is expected to reveal whether Davis has addressed those issues or if Roach's strategy will prevail against...
I don't know if Lamont Roach exposed weaknesses of Tank Davis. It very much reminds me of Rolly Romero versus Ryan Garcia. What Roach did, Rolly was doing the same thing. He ended up implementing it better against Ryan Garcia. Tank was having huge issues, and that's the Black Two Sugars. Watch me call that fight. I started laughing. I couldn't believe it because all he was patient with good power. All Roach was patient. He stayed focused. That's why him drinking and partying and shit is messing with me because he beat him here. He stayed so damn focused. And he knew when Tank was going to punch. He knew when not to punch. And when he countered Tank, he rocked Tank. Tank got rocked at least twice that fight.
Some boxing analysts have pointed out that Davis's stumble wasn't entirely Roach's doing. Grease in the eyes, rather than a clean knockout, affected Davis's balance and visibility. That moment tilted public perception in Roach's favor, but insiders argue it wasn't as definitive as it seemed. With that in mind, Davis is now preparing with intensity, determined to return with a clearer vision, literally and figuratively, to dominate the rematch and remind everyone of his power.
People keep saying like Lamont dang near like beat Tank like clean. Like basically like we seen it like, yeah, he did Tank that one, but like Tank was limping out the ring. Bro, he didn't even get over on Tank for real. Y'all only saying that because Tank took the knee. And when Tank took the knee, it wasn't how like Ryan Garcia was when he took the knee once Tank went to his body. It was like, dang, like I'm taking him and get right back up. Can you do that in boxing? No. But y'all can't say that basically that, oh yeah, he won because of the knee. That shows that people just want to see Tank lose, bruh. Cause y'all betting y'all money on basically Tank losing because of that knee. Yes, it was a good fight. Yes, I'm not gonna lie. Lamont was defending himself like he's skilled. But, bro, he ain't walk all over Tank. Tank, bro, if y'all go back and watch the highlights, I just watched the highlights last night.
That's it for today's video. Stay tuned until next time.